Welcome to Review Journal Sports Betting Spotlight on college football. We're here at the Mirage Sportsbook on the Vegas Strip with handicapper Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas, and Mirage Sportsbook Director Jeff Stoneback. We're going to give you our top 3 plays on college football, including our best bet, and we'll lead off with Kelly. What's your first 2 plays for this weekend?
One of my favorite bets this week is Iowa State yet again. I know I played them last week. They got the outright win for me in Lubbock. I'm just going to stick with what's working here. The Clones team has come out of the woodwork since they beat Oklahoma on the road, beat Texas Tech in Lubbock. This is just a team that I'm going, you're getting 6 points, 7 points at home against a TCU team that I think is a good team, but I'm going to go with the scrappy dog in Ames. If you've been following me for the last few years, you know how much I hate any team playing in Ames. If you're going to give me some points, I'm going to take it. My next favorite bet is Nebraska plus 5.5. I don't have a lot of really good things to say about this Huskers team, but it's more of a play against the Purdue Boilermakers, laying 6 at home. I'm not sure if the home field advantage is really worth 6. These teams are right around the same level of playing field, and I really think that this Huskers team is now hitting their easier slate. They already got blown out by Ohio State and Wisconsin. There's still a possibility they could be 7-5. They just got to start with a win on Saturday.
Jeff, who are your first 2 plays in college football?
Well, actually, one of my plays is one of Kelly's. I like Iowa State also. Like she said, they beat Oklahoma. They're playing very well. They've covered 6 out of 7 against the spread. And on the grass, they've their last 12 games, they've covered 10 out of 12, and vice versa for the opponent. They've only covered 2 of their last 12 on the grass. My other pick is South Florida, laying 10.5 points. South Florida, they've been rolling at home. They've been averaging 38 points at home, and they're playing Houston, who's been struggling a little bit to score on the road. Houston's 1-9 in their last 10 conference games, so I think South Florida rolls over them.
I'm going with Fresno State as a 21.5 point favorite over UNLV. Fresno is one of the only teams in the country this year undefeated against the spread, 6-0-1. It's a revenge game. They beat their last 2 opponents 65-3, New Mexico 38-zip, and at San Diego State 27-3. They really turned it around there under Jeff Tedford this season. And UNLV coming off a 52-28 loss at home to Utah State. They blew a big lead before that at Air Force. They've allowed 42 points a game in their last 3. And they also lost Armani Rogers, their electric redshirt freshman quarterback. So they're going to be starting Johnny Stanton probably at quarterback this week. He played linebacker last week against Utah State. So we're going with Fresno State to cover the big number there. And we're also going to take San Diego State by 9.5 over Hawaii. The Aztecs are ranked 19th in the country 2 weeks ago. Had 2 lopsided home losses to Boise and Fresno State. It's enough to make someone want to just head to tropical paradise, try to find yourself again. That's what they're going to do. Head into Oahu, where they've won 5 straight over Hawaii. Overall, they've beaten Hawaii 5 straight, including 55-0 last year. And I expect Rashad Penny to bust loose this year, and Hawaii is not going to be able to stop San Diego State's rushing attack as they get back on track with a double-digit win. Let's move on to our best bets. Kelly, who's the best bet this weekend?
My best bet this week is Kansas State minus 24. Every year this is a play for me. Why? Because whenever Kansas State basketball goes to Lawrence or plays KU, they get stomped. And this is a chance for Kansas State to somehow redeem themselves against a really, really bad Jayhawks team. And this is where Bill Snyder, who doesn't traditionally pour on the points, he's going to, because it's expected by the fan base. This is kind of a short number for the Wildcats here, and I understand why. They played 5 terrible games in a row. They were up on Oklahoma for a better part of 3.5 quarters last week and couldn't get it done. 35 points wasn't enough for this Jayhawks team as a head start to cover against TCU. I just don't see them, even with their trick plays, keeping it close with Kansas State.
Jeff, who's your top play in college football?
Well, in college football, I especially like teams, the emotions. College kids, you know, much more than the pros. I got 2 teams going kind of the opposite direction. I like Arizona State getting 3 points at home against Southern Cal. Believe it or not, this game is going to be, whoever wins this game is going to be in the driver's seat in the Pac-12 South. But USC, they had bigger aspirations. They wanted to be in that national championship race. Now, after getting blown out by Notre Dame, who knows where their head's going to be. They're basically 1-6 against the spread this year. Arizona State's won their last 3 of the last 4 games they've played. They've won straight up as double-digit dogs. So That game's at 7:45 at night, Pac-12 after dark. A lot of crazy things happen, so I think Arizona State is the play here.
Yeah, they actually have some defense now, amazingly enough. And
yes.
I'm going to go with West Virginia as my best bet, getting 7.5 over Oklahoma State at home. Oak State opened at 6, went over the key number of 7, a 7.5. I'll take the home dog there with the hook. Oklahoma State's once potent offense, they just had won 13-10 last week in overtime at Texas, snapped a streak of 35 straight games where they scored at least 20 points. Now they have a tough turnaround going from Austin to Morgantown, far-flung reaches of West Virginia. I think John Denver's the only guy who knows the shortcut there. They're two of the top offenses in college football, and Will Greer, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They're going to trade touchdowns here the whole game, and I'm just going to go with the home dog getting the touchdown and the hook. That's our spotlight in college football.